Hello fellow farmers, welcome back to Farm Tips Prime, the go-to channel for all things agriculture and farming. Today, we have an exciting topic to dive into. But before we get started, if you are passionate about farming and want to stay in the loop with the latest tips, techniques, and community support, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to turn on notification bell as you never miss out on our valuable content. Here at Farm Tips Prime, we are dedicated to bringing you practical insights that can elevate your farming game. Whether you're a practicing farmer or just starting out, our goal is to share knowledge that empowers you on your farming journey. By subscribing, you're becoming part of a supportive community of farmers who exchange ideas, share experiences, and help each other grow. We value each and every one of you, and your support keeps this channel thriving. Let's dive into today's topic. Today, I'm going to talk about quarantine. What I mean by quarantine is a confinement area where you do all your activities. Let's say when you're separating your animals for treatment, when you're separating for vaccination, when you bring new stock, etc. and etc. Name it. That is what we call quarantine. You know, we have been having a lot of challenges. In animal farming, it has been too much, and people didn't know how to handle new stock. But now, I think with a lot of information on YouTube and other social media handles, I think you now understand how to handle. Embark on a journey of natural sweetness with Prevaz Natural Honey. Pure, unfiltered, and delicious. From hive to jar, Prevaz brings you the golden essence of nature's sweetness. Elevate your moments with the richness of Prevaz Natural Honey. A touch of nature in every drop. Prevaz Natural Honey. Unleash the sweet side of life. Taste the pure goodness. For inquiries and sweet connections, reach us at 0785 772849 or 0742 251542. Elevate your taste with nature's treasure. Quarantine is one of the things that I would like a farm to don't have. It is a place that you should not miss. It is a place that you should not skip. Why? Because it is very, very important. It can really kill your animals or it can help you be saved. Why do I say it's a place that can kill your animals? Some of you people, it's you who really cause the spread of the diseases in your area or at your farm. Because most of you are used to go to the markets to buy animals and you bring them to your farms. But let me ask you people, if you're selling your animals, because most of the animals that are in the market are for slaughter. So if you're taking your animals for slaughter, what are you expecting from that market? Are you looking for the best producer or you're looking for the best animal? Or you will select those that are really not performing well? Me, I would say yes, that in the market, we go with those that are not performing well, those that always have miscarriages, those that always have complications. So you, when you go to the market and you buy, that is what you buy, because someone has taken his animals to the market to get money, and he will sell you those that are not performing well because he wants money. So what happens? If you buy an animal and it is sick, and you put it in your animals without quarantine, that one animal can cause a lot of havoc to the rest of the farms. So what do we have to do? We have to have what we call quarantine. You can do quarantine area in any way, but the main issue will be separating the paddocks and you don't allow them to meet. The quarantine can be used to handle the new stock, to select those that you suspect to be sick, such that you can really easily handle those animals separately instead of spreading diseases to the entire farm. So those are some of the advantages of the quarantine. These are some of the animals that you need to keep in the quarantine. Let's say you're doing what they call weaning. One of the advantages of quarantine, when you wean animals from different flocks and you want them to get used to each other before you put them in their designated areas. Let's say at the farm you have produced savannas and then there are Boer females. So what you should do is always bring them in the quarantine such that they get used to each other. You know, when the animals are shifted from one place to another, they tend to get stress, and that stress causes body immunity to lower. So when the body immunity lowers, in case there was a disease that was existing in the body and the animal was in its good condition in its used place, it couldn't react because the body would manage its own disease on its own. But now you have shifted it from its original house to the new house. What do you expect? You're expecting that stress and uncomfort. That uncomfort can cause the stress, and stress can cause the body to lower immunity. So when the body immunity lowers, that means in case there was any disease that the body was managing, it will definitely react because the body immunity has lowered. So what do we do with quarantine? You confine those animals together, put them on observation. Even if you're going to sell those animals, bring them together in one place, confine them, then observe them at least for 1 week. So that is why we should have the quarantine. Then after observing them, there is no reaction and it is getting better. If it reacts, then treat it. If it does not react, then you can shift that animal and take it anywhere you want. And again, you put it in the quarantine and manage for a month because it has even moved for a long distance. Observe it, keep it on antibiotics and multivitamins to make sure that the body regains its strength. Even if you buy new stock from someone who has good quality, also first put them in a quarantine to make sure they are observed well, and then finally you release them to their destinations. Let me tell you one thing. Even if you're on the same farm and you're separating, let's say animals from one corner to another, first confine them such that they get used. Like when you're having like 500 goats on the farm, don't expect to select from this paddock, the other paddock, then this paddock. No. Just separate them from their paddocks, then bring them together in the quarantine. They get used to each other for a week, then you can put them to a place where you want them to be. Those are some of the reasons why you should have a quarantine area. Quarantine is very, very important. It helps you easily identify diseased animals. Those animals that you don't understand their conditions well, bring them to the quarantine so that you pay more attention to them. So you people, understand that quarantine is very important. It does not mean that you who doesn't have a bigger place, you can't have a quarantine. No. You can also be having one house for animals, but separate it. As long as you put a gap in the house and the quarantine, it can be like 2 meters. It is very hard for the disease to jump 2 meters to go into the other section if they are separated. So feeding will be separate and sleeping will also be separate. Those are some of the advantages of having a quarantine on your farm. Actually, before you even start, quarantine should be thought about it. Well, that wraps up today's episode on Farm Tips Prime. I hope you found this information helpful and insightful. Remember, farming is not just a job. It is a way of life, and we are here to support you in every step of the way. If you have enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our community of passionate farmers. Your support means the world to us, and it keeps Farm Tips Prime growing. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment in the comment section below and share your additional tips that you have. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section below. Stay tuned to our next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it out. Until next time, happy farming, and I will catch you in the next episode of Farm Tips Prime. Once again, a big thank you to our incredible community. Your support fuels our passion for sharing valuable farm insights. Keep cultivating, keep growing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.